Hello, friends. It's John Clan III of episode 195 of Shadow and Flame with Magic, your premier Kitty Pride Lockheed Magic podcast. And today we're going to review Magic Volume 2, Issue 10, Deadpool Batman number 1, Uncanny X-Men 121, Predator Kills the Marvel Universe 2, and Phoenix 15. So let's get into it. Spoilers for all the comics of last week. Magic number 10 was the final issue. Magic and Danny team up to take down the embodiment and just and the Society of the Eternal Dawn. Danny causes some division between the embodiment and her crew. She isn't impressed that all it took was a few words from the upstart, but not those upstarts. Magic takes embodiment into the heart of the society and figures out a weakness to embodiment's 3 seconds into the future mutant power. She has to be able to see the object or the person. So Magic hides behind a bookcase and defeats Embodiment. I like how Embodiment recognizes how good of a technician Magic is. Whenever I hear the word technician, it makes me visualize a class option in a video game. And is that the best one for Magic? Depending on the game, sure. After Embodiment is defeated, Magic has to turn her attention to Luminol and Cal's body. She figures out that Cal has been providing clues and he can grab the will every so often. So he's still in there. Magic uses a star that's been empowering the society to now empower her spell and separates Lumino from Cal. And together they defeat Lumino. So it's a pretty great conclusion to Magic's first ongoing. There's a note in the back stating the creative team would be on a project post Age of Revelation. And since the logo foreshadow variant shows Magic becoming the X Avengers, I can only imagine we're getting a Danny Moonstar, either solo or team title from this creative team. That or Magic's becoming the Sorceress Supreme, and they'll be writing that title. We do know a new person is taking that title in December. We'll get to the rest of the December books later. Um, and then we got Deadpool Batman 1. Easily could have been the lead comic and probably should be if I want to get those clicks. When this was announced, I did lose some excitement as, of course, these were the two characters that were selected because they're the most popular characters. But then they announced there was going to be backup features, and I got excited again about the potential of the meetups there. Deadpool smashes into his way into the Wayne Manor. He's in Gotham to do a job, but figured as long as he was there, he'll reach out to boy billionaire Bruce Wayne to see if there's anyone he needed killed, which is a great meet cute. Wayne explains he's not that type of billionaire, and the bat light turns on and Deadpool takes off. Turns out Deadpool has been hired to kill Batman. He then meets Commissioner Gordon, and then Batman himself. Batman was on Joker's trail as he's making a city's worth of venom, Joker venom. Deadpool gets Batman to take him along for a ride, which is the perfect opportunity to gas Batman. Batman wakes up and Deadpool immediately starts picking up a Lego Batman vibe, which Batman totally plays into to annoy Joker, as Deadpool is wowed by Batman and wants to become his sexy new arch nemesis, which causes Joker to become mad with jealousy. Joker's defeated and Deadpool motors off, and we know in November these two will meet up again for the DC side of the crossover. Um, and I was like, what was I going to transition to it? Yesterday on the YouTube channel, Jacko SII, and to a lesser successful Ray on TikTok, I finally hit 600 subscribers and I got 601 right now. Timestamp it. And so hopefully we maintain being above 600. For the longest time, I was like stuck at 597 and then I'll either go up to 598 or drop down to 596. And so it was like, what's happening? And then it was just stay on 597. So I'm like, what's happening here? But I did a whole Batman Day event where pretty much every hour for like, I don't know, a lot of hours, there was this new Batman content and YouTube really seemed to like it. I think I only got one or two new TikTok followers, but it was a pretty fun day to um Oh, celebrate Batman and his 86 years, I want to say. That feels right. Um, Next we get a beautiful Captain America and Wonder Woman adventure drawn by the Dodsons, Terry and Rachel, who I love. The premise of the story is Wonder Woman and Captain America being lifelong friends from first meeting in World War II to Steve's last days in the far future. We see some highlights and lowlights, such as the death of Supergirl, which Storm was present for. At one point, Wonder Woman calls him Steve, and I smile as she totally knows a different Steve. But I like how Captain America isn't replacing him in the story, so I never got a romantic connection between the two of them. Felt more like the two veterans who wonderfully respected each other. Um, Speaking of YouTube, Walker D. Whirl posted a latest in his thoughts videos, and he has gotten like 40 subscribers since posting his latest video. So I just want to give a shout out about how proud I am of doing it. He's our first and greatest guest we've had on the podcast, and so I just love seeing the success he's gotten. Then we got a very adorable Jeff the Shark meets Crypto the Super Dog story. Crypto wants to play fetch, and Jeff is immediately on board, and it's just a very fun couple pages. And then we get Kevin Smith's Daredevil and Green Arrow story, which made me really want a Daredevil and Ninja Turtle story, as they can really work. Maybe that would be an actual option now that Marvel's playing well with others. I'll want Daredevil and Ninja Turtles first, and then a Ninja Turtles X-Men, and then maybe finally a Spider-Man and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus the Lizard and Leatherhead adventure. We get a Frank Miller with Dark Knight Returns Batman, who I thought was supposed to be Old Man Logan, but the Logan wears his classic brown and tan suit and didn't much look like the Old Man Logan model. It's 3 pages of grit as the two fight. We get to the final story, a story featuring Logo. Amalgam is back, baby. Logo is, of course, a combination of Lobo and Logan, which I wasn't sure how I felt about the naming convention there, but I can't think of a better one. Logan Bro is trying too hard and doesn't really work with Lobo. I really hope that Batman Deadpool we get another Amalgam story, or even better, this launches another set of Amalgam one shots, which I will commit to buying all of them and keeping them all this time. So I'm happy with the ones I've kept or the ones I recently rebought. Which ones do I own now? Legends of Dark Knight, Dark Knight Adventures, Spider-Boy Team Up, Generation Hex, Doctor Strange Fate, Lobo the Duck, Amazon, Bruce Wayne, Agent of Shield, Iron Lantern, the two Magneto and Magnetic Men issues, Bat Thing, Challengers of the Fantastic, and the two JLX issues. Owning Spider-Boy Team Up, and then reprinting the original Spider-Boy makes me want to buy the original Spider-Boy before eBay shopping makes that complicated. I just checked and I had completely forgotten Marvel and Dan Slott created a Spider-Boy. Hey, did you know that the new Spider-Girl is a mutant? That's pretty interesting. I know she's supposed to be in one of the Age of Revelation titles. Oh, and there was a Rocket Raccoon becoming a Green Lantern story that was pretty nice. What else do we got going on? Oh yeah, Uncanny X-Men Volume 621. Logan and Ransom meet Ransom's father, who's a grade A jerk. Ransom has to go save his half-brother. I like how Logan's not very impressed with the fancy father, and it makes it no secret how unimpressed he is. They go to a superhero convention. The shower cat with Lockheed gal from the cover doesn't make it into the comic. Jay and Silent Bob do, so that's fun. A nice lady wearing a blue Phoenix suit blows Logan's mind in a very fun sequence. They say Ransom's half brother and will make their way back to Louisiana. Meanwhile, at school, there's a dance coming up, and a nice girl asks Death Dream to the dance. Hopefully, everyone survives that experience. At one point, Jitter tells Death Dream that he doesn't have to eat lunch with them all the time, which I wonder is Jitter's way of hinting that she wants to eat with Calico, or just trying to get Death Dream out of his comfort zone. Oh, I know Ember this issue either, but I'm happy to see the issue in my collection once I get it. Predator Kills the Marvel Universe 2. This was marketed as the X-Men issue, and we do get some X-Men, but not my absolute favorites. Issue opens with Magneto and Xavier playing chess. The Predators want to eliminate Magneto as they have big, big plans for vibranium and don't want the Master of Magnetism to bother their plans. They then dig deeper into the X Mansion, getting to the Danger Room. Cyclops mistakes them for a bug in the program, which is a deadly mistake. We don't see Storm. We do see Storm, Nightcrawler, or Wolverine, but none of them die. And he's on the final issue cover. I saw a preview of Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe 3, which was also marketed as the X-Men issue. And it looks to be the same cast, so I'll probably be giving Walker D both of these issues. And then the final issue, Phoenix 15, before Age of Revelations turns this into a Carol Danvers binary adventure. I like how the cosmic beings being portrayed as fellow folks. That makes me easier to digest them. They want Sarah Gray removed, but Jean wants her to continue living, of course. We continue to see the former host of the Phoenix Force. I still don't know if Rachel Summers and Quentin Quire were actually there, or were they just white hot room constructs like Hope Summers? I imagine that Lady Iron Fist. I imagine they are all constructs, as Echo wasn't included in the lineup. Which, thinking about, does that prove they are constructs or go against that theory? We'll never know. And oh yeah, and then I always make a point of doing on the website Shadow and Flame with Magic.com, the home of the network. And but I'm like, oh, you know what? I might as well do it on the podcast, right? Add some minutes to the content. Gotta get them clicks. So we got the Marvel December 2025 solicitations. Reading Ultimate Wolverine 12, it sounds like he's the last of the opposition, but hopefully Sprite survives. Otherwise, I'm done with this universe. Like, Magic can become even bigger, but I feel like once Sprite's gone, then I'm done. Ex parte X-Men 3 gets the Dark Child, who's no longer bothering Amazing X-Men in their third issue. Book of Revelation 3 still has the Spirit of Philadelphia, who I'm pretty sure is Kitty Pryde on the cover. We get a reference to Ex parte X-Men in Undeadpool 3, so I'll get that appearance with the Carmen Carnero. So I get that cover. I'm in the process of buying all the Melee appearances. I need to get her first cover appearance, the Carmen Carnero foreshadow variant of Rise of the Powers of X5. I ha I have Time Slide 1 on my wish list, as I believe once I have that, I'll have all of Bronze's appearances too. I try to keep up as well as I can. Kitty Pryde is referenced in Time Slide, so that's why it's already on my wish list. Age of Revelations Finale 1 ends the event. I wonder if this reads like Sins of Sinister, another time-spanning adventure. And all we'll need to really read is the two bookends. We already know in January Marvel is launching Shadows of Tomorrow, and we'll learn more about that event in the X-Men panel in October at New York Comic Con. X-Men, Uncanny, and Wolverine are not restarting, but we are getting both a Cyclops and a Psylocke solo series for both of them. Supreme Sorcerer Supreme 1 comes out, written by writer M and artist M, but we're finally getting that delicious, I mean gorgeous Dev Maya Pramankik promo art cover. Here's hoping Magic gets the gig. Will of Doom 1, I'm getting the J. Scott Campbell wraparound variant that has Magic shown on it. December is starting to feel expensive, but if I keep this under $50, I might grab the N299 first issue, as it features the Age of Apocalypse Wolverine and the Claremont Byrne era Cyclops and Jean Grey. Also, the debut of Spider-Man 3099, which I know I've never going to see 3099, so that doesn't devastate me as much as the Spider-Man 2099 does. The story is essentially 2099 versus the multiverse, similar to the Battle World series that starts next week. Another series I had to track for any Cape Pride references. The Marvel Winter Break special has several X-Men on the cover: Emma Frost, Storm, and Rogue. It's supposed to have 5 variant covers, so I'll see which one of those I want. Here's hoping that we get a spring and fall special. I guess I only have one maybe on that list of titles. My hopes for Shadow tomorrow is that Magic is on at least one title and that Kitty Pride and whichever series has Kitty Pride hopefully also has Lockheed in there. And that was episode 195 of Shadow and Playing with Magic. So thank you everyone. You can follow me at Jackals III at YouTube, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And the podcasts at Instagram and Blue Sky at S&FwM. The N's all spelled out. And thank you all so much for listening or watching on YouTube. All right, everyone. Thanks. Oh, wait. We have next week's comics. There's 7 comics I could see. We have X-Men Volume 722, which I believe is the last issue before Age of Revelations kicks off. We have Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe 3, that we already know has Cyclops, Rogue, Jean. It's like it's a 90s X-Men. So Wolverine and Storm. We have Emma Frost, White Queen 4, the penultimate issue. We have Battle World 1 that I should have probably just pre-ordered already through DCBS, but it has the Days of Future Past Storm, so I can only imagine the first issue will at least have Cape Pride reference, but we'll see. Storm number 12, Spider-Man Wolverine 5, and then lastly Jeff the Landshark 4, which Wolverine and Psylocke was in issue 3, and we know Magic's in issue 5, so we'll see if Magic's on the final page of issue 4, but we'll find out on Wednesday. And then we'll just see what we covered then. I believe we're still in the month of September. Oh yeah, we definitely are. So, and then October we're launching our Marvel Zombies month. I got 4 issues picked out already. And but I believe this upcoming week we get the first episode of the animated series, so we'll watch that. And speaking of watching, thank you all so much for watching this or listening. And I will talk to you next time. All right, everyone. Bye.